Scorpio, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are a returning subscriber, you have my love. If you're brand new to the channel or just cross-watching, I am JT. We're going to take a look at last week's energy, make sure something unfolds for you, or if it's going to unfold. I believe the video was entitled, When You Decide to Let Go, Guess Who Shows Up? Something like that. Anyway, I'll leave it at the end of this video. But we're going to find out what's going to shake loose in your energy. Do keep in mind it's just a general reading, okay? So sometimes these will line up, sometimes they do not. Let's just use our intuition, okay? All right, I'll give you the down low. We'll shuffle up. You can skip past this part if you'd like, but do keep in mind that I always put your haiku poems right before your reading starts. All right, Scorpio, is last week's energy still here, or is there something brand new on the way? Is the love knocking on the door? Is the money opportunity going to show up? What does the universe need to reveal to Scorpio? All right, I've already pre-shuffled the cards, but I shuffled for your sake. We're going to talk about this current energy. We're going to talk about crossing challenge. We're going to talk about the foundation, the recent past, the possibilities, the near future. We're going to look at the self, the environment, the hopes, fears, wishes, or worries, and the outcome and the direction. All right, lots of major arcana here. Got a big story to tell. Something's about to shift really fast. All right, Scorpio, here are your poems. And when I get back, we're going to talk about this reading. Okay, Scorpio, as I looked at the cards, I don't think this is going to be a continuance of last week's reading. This is going to be kind of a stand on its own type situation. What I do feel like is that some of you got some options. Some of you got a love that's either returning or a brand new situation. And if you're down for it, we're going to talk about it. All right, we've got this Five of Swords energy right off the bat. Take it with a grain of glitter, like I always tell everybody here. There's a little bit of sting, a little bit of bite, but we're going to get through it. It's all about shadows. Okay, I feel like this is going to be like the time frame where you're not shrinking anymore here. Okay, like I said, I do feel like somebody's going to return. We'll talk about this King of Cups or the Knight of Cups. We'll talk about that Knight of Wands energy. But I feel like you're seeing somebody's true intentions here. And I feel like you're not pretending any longer that you don't here. Okay, there's some tension, but it is kind of quiet. It's all about someone's ego here. Maybe that's been a hell of a lot louder than what their honesty is to you. And I feel like you're no longer absorbing this kind of stuff. It's kind of like I'm. It's not like you're fed up. I'm beyond it, but it's just it's got that someone's trying to win an argument instead of like understanding you here. Now, you guys take what fits here, but the masculine energy is avoiding accountability in this energy, okay? And the feminine energy is withdrawing emotionally. We're going to see that here with this Hermit card as well, also with the Ten of Wands energy. But don't 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 fret, because, like I said, it's all about someone. I don't know. There's like a coworker, somebody competing with you. There's some kind of a damn third party energy here, and I can't quite pull it out yet, but I feel like maybe they're trying to just provoke some kind of a jealousy. Maybe they're jealous of who you're around. This could be a friend. You know what that's like. You meet somebody new. There's some fire, some passion. Maybe they got a tendency. You're a one friend type person, okay? And I'm not judging anybody here, but I'm just saying This has got maybe somebody stalking your social media here, also maybe kind of like slow to initiate back and forth. But I don't know. It's got also like that friend guilt trip, right? Anyway, um, I don't know. Maybe there's somebody who's going to apologize here, but it doesn't have that same feeling like, they're going to own up to it, uh, they're not going to really like over explain that apology, right? So anyway, I'm just saying it. I feel like someone's pride here might be masking, the fear of like losing you in this situation. Okay. So just kind of take that how it resonates with you. But um, yeah, it's one of those situations. We're going to talk about this Knight of Cups though. This is romantic energy. It's present. This could have already happened or in the process, obviously. For some of you, this could be coming up right now. Okay. But this person, has that deep flirt, right? And naturally, dreams big. You could be seeing that, but I feel like there might be a little bit of hesitation here because of the action, maybe the short on the action. The fear of, the masculine energy, fear of coming on way too strong here. Doesn't want to present himself. I say he, doesn't have to be he or gender specific. I'm just saying, I don't want to come across as too sexually involved yet. I don't want you to know that I dream about you yet. I don't want you to know that, damn, you look good in them jeans. I'm just saying it's one of those things. Okay. So he's kind of like watching your social media, kind of seeing like who you hang out with, I'm going to flirt maybe just enough, a little intense, just to see what your replies are here. Because he imagines like a future with you, and perhaps he fears like, he doesn't want you to misread it in the wrong way. Okay. Leading from the lower chakra energy, but I'm just saying, you know, um, maybe a little jealousy there, tries to hide it. We do have the Five of Wands. We'll talk about that energy as well, but I'm just saying it's kind of like, he wants to see you definitely. And I keep saying he, so I'm going to just roll with it, here, but take what applies. It doesn't have to be, gender specific here, but, we both have a balance of both feminine and masculine. But, I want to see you, but I'm kind of waiting for a sign, right? Maybe overwhelmed by his own feelings. Maybe he wants to be chosen, and for a masculine to admit that, right? Um, that would just kind of sound like being way too much. you know um, that is kind of a stigma on the masculine, right? It's not fair, but that's sometimes the way it goes. And so the masculine kind of wears that energy, right? It might poke an old bruise here, but I'm just saying he's not playing games. I just feel like this is a person that's really scared of the depth that maybe, he feels for you. Okay. All right, now we're going to talk about this foundation. We got the 10 of Wands. For some of you, this is going to look like karmic relationships, patterns, the things, the same old, same old. I don't even really want to go there, but if I don't, it's not going to explain that next card, right? You've been the strong one, the stable one, the one who holds everything together. But I feel like a lot of that shit's catching up, and it's like, I know we go to these readings, we hear this over and over again. So I can just imagine, that some of you are ready to click out of here. But what this is talking about is, you know, um, you've been the therapist friend, right? Carrying guilt around that's probably not yours, and this talks about the struggle of the day to day life, right? The carrying around financial burdens or things like that, just exhausted, from pretending that everything's been fine, So I feel like you're just ready to drop burden here. You're preparing yourself for like this. Uh, no is going to be my mantra from now on. You know what I mean? I'm just saying this matters. You're not meant to carry everyone else's load, right? And so um, this card, like I said, it just feels like you're really, really seeing the boundaries that you've made within that. So it's an important card for us to recognize here. Okay, talk about this recent past. We got this Queen of Swords energy here. This may be why. I feel like you've cut through all the confusion. And maybe somebody didn't expect you to, which could have been that king or that Knight of Cups type energy as well. And so, like, you made a decision that was clean, sharp. Maybe for some of you, way overdue. You know, um, to hell with the mixed signals. And maybe you blocked somebody, muted somebody out, right? You demanded some clarity on a situation, and maybe you felt like there was a little bit of manipulation there with someone. Okay, you know, um, it's just that same kind of energy. It's like, I'm tired of chasing answers. So I don't know, maybe you just kind of put a little stagnant bridge in between the situation, okay? Maybe for some of you, it could have been a lie that somebody told. There was a third party, kind of a third party energy here. It doesn't have to be, it could be external. This could be like your job, that burden, somebody you had to tell off at work, you know, it's like, I'm just done with this, you know? So take what fits, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like you really trusted your intuition with this card. So, you know, that's a good thing. It's not a warning, right? It's just clarity. It's, you know, it's boundaries that weren't super harsh, but they were necessary. You see what I mean? So that 10 of Wands following that Queen of Swords anyway, or vice versa. Yeah. All right. We're going to talk about the possibilities here. We got the 5 of Wands energy. And this is where I kind of got the idea. Like I said, it's in that possibilities. And you're thinking, what are the possibilities? Well, this is all about tension. It's all about desire and someone fighting for you, the competition that's involved here. You know, it could be multiple energies here, you know, that want your attention. We're talking like family, friends, you know, children, the stress of your job, the situation. But what I'm getting at is there's a little bit of intimidation factor in this, okay? And I feel like somebody is stepping up. Okay. Now, this could be a role where you're about to celebrate a few different things here, okay? And we'll get to it because you do have this 4 of Wands energy here, okay? But you know, people are checking out your, you know, your social media, you know, and maybe you're seeing somebody trying to outshine somebody else here. You know what I mean? It does have kind of a territorial energy, and so that brings you back into that, you know, that stage. We got the Hermit card. We'll talk about it, but it's kind of like, you know, the feminine energy just kind of draw back and be like, I'm about to vocal what the hell I want here. You know, I'm about to speak up, and you know, so that person, you'll notice they're going to flirt a little bit harder because maybe they sense this competition, right? So kind of keep your eyes on that. No, you're going to know the person, right? It could be that past person resurfacing, right? As soon as that new person shows up. And that could be part of that 5 of Wands energy, that competition, right? So someone trying to win you through their effort, you know, and versus someone else is just trying to, you know, word salad. They're going to try to do this through charm or, you know, gifts or something, you know. But this could also look, like I said, somebody around you has kind of got that, I don't know, maybe that unexpected flirtation that comes through or something like that. Okay. But it's not chaos here. It's just kind of like confirmation, you know, that, you know, you're glowing right now. You know, you've got a magnetism about you, um, that warrants destruction on their side. You know what I mean? It's fight or die, right? So anyway, we're going to talk about the near future. This is where that 4 of Wands energy is at. You know, it's all about a celebration. You got to step through the gate to get there, though. It's like making a choice here, and so this could be that fine line here where the relationship kind of stabilizes, or you know, just the connection itself, whatever that means for you, is kind of becoming real. You know, for some of you that could be like a milestone, right? Something in your life, you've reached some goals. You know, there is a celebration in that. And it could be as easy as somebody, you know, inviting you to like some kind of an event. You know, we're moving into the spring, early spring, moving into summertime, so you know, outdoor event or something you're looking forward to. But this is kind of got a little bit of exclusivity in it, right? The masculine energy may be kind of feeling that you might feel a little possessiveness, not in that narcissistic kind of way. I'm just saying it's just, I don't know. It's just I want to make you mine, and so I want to get as close to you as I can. So it does have a hint of that, right? And feminine energy here is, you know, I feel like maybe you're going to become a little more vocal here. You know, expressing your emotions, getting tender. This could be talking about meeting someone's friends or their family. You know, this person's like, hey, how would you feel about, you know, blah blah blah, meeting a family or somebody or my children. This could be kind of a mixed situation like that. For others, it could be like moving or relocating or something, or just even like redecorating your house, right? So it's all about, it's kind of like marking a turning point, you know? We all do that spring cleaning, right? So anyway, but I feel like there's definitely some kind of a promise in this, right? It's got that promissory note. It doesn't have to be the physical letter, it doesn't have to be marriage of any kind, but for some of you, it could be a proposal. But I'm just saying, you know, this isn't panic, you know, this is like mutual, it's grounded, it's, you know, so it's really real here. For some of you, we're looking at maybe, you know, a timeline of like 3 to 6 weeks or something like that. That could be a significant date that we talked about. So anyway, we're going to talk about the self, and we got the high priestess, right? For some of you, you could be dealing with Pisces energy. You don't have to be, but you could be. But this is you definitely sensing motives here. Okay, what's underneath? What's lying? There's truth here, and maybe you're sensing it before it surfaces. Right? You know when somebody's lying to you. You know when somebody's I don't know. You can kind of feel there's about to be a text come in. Okay, it could be an answer that you've been waiting on. Okay, or there could be some serious flirtatious back and forth. Some sexting going on too, because we do got this night. I'm just saying, and I love that sexting. That's some good stuff. But this is feeling that soulmate kind of energy. Maybe for some of you, it doesn't have to be soulmate, but you got your eye on this particular individual, I'm sure, and it's like, I don't know, you're kind of sensing some kind of, you may have a little hint of jealousy there too, before it kind of shows up, just to say, hey, if you catch yourself checking their social media at 2 a.m. in the morning, there you go, there's the answer. But I feel like you think there's possibility for this new love to enter here. So, the high priestess is there to kind of like, let's guide you along. Let's feel this new love entering together. Let's trust ourselves more, right? And so that's kind of what that talks about. For some of you, get online and check out the next, the moon phase, the next shift, because I feel like I said, there was a 3 to 6 week pattern here, but I feel like something's definitely moving forward here, and it could be the possibility of this Knight of Wands. Like I said, I feel like some of you, this has already kind of taken place, but that 3 to 6 week may be a part of this. Okay, we're talking about a fire sign, or at least the fire energies of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Just kind of take what fits there. But this person wants you physically, emotionally and energetically. But I'm saying there's kind of like that. This is the leap in, okay? The night's not actually like the best at timing, right? So this could kind of hit you at an unexpected moment here. This is that late night text. This is that, hey, you up, just wondering, or flirtatious text, and then maybe kind of go silent just a little bit because, like I said, it's got that flirtation. It's I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna flirt harder. I'm gonna try to impress you. Check, I know I smell good, and I'm gonna get as close as you can so you can smell that cologne. It doesn't have to be masculine. It could be perfume. It could be feminine. I'm just saying, or you could be masculine wearing perfume. That's not what I'm getting at. You get what I'm saying. The whole point is, I want you to smell me. Do you find me as attractive as I find you? It's got that. I'm gonna claim you. This is all about adventure. I'm gonna break the tension because I got to hold your hand. I want to kiss you. I'm waiting for that first kiss, that kind of energy, right? Okay, we're going to talk about the hopes, the fears, the wishes, and the worries. And we got the hermit. And I feel like if this happened to you, perhaps you drew back your energy, You're craving intimacy. I know this already, but you just don't want the chaos, right? And so maybe something kind of hit a little bit quick, right? It hit that a passion button on you, and you're like, shit, I don't want to lose myself. You know what I mean? I can't do that again. I'm not going to repeat old patterns, that type of thing, right? But so but this also could speak to like the fact that I hope this person understands that there is definitely a sovereignty about me, that I declare my pullback, my retreat time. It's all about me, right? And so in wanting this connection, you need that understanding, right? And so there may be a little hint of feeling like maybe you're a little misunderstood. You haven't got to say this yet, so you kind of fear the fact that this person might be a little put off from that. But don't sweat this. I'm going to cushion it. This is all about desire for peace, you know, and that is wisdom. That's not fear. You know what I'm saying? So don't take that timeline. Don't take that trajectory. This is all about moments that are needed for you. Okay. All right. Also, we could be talking about Virgo energy there, but I'm just saying, just take what applies. But I do feel like I said, there's there's definitely some kind of maybe an emotional conversation that comes through about this pullback or retreat if it was necessary. You see what I'm saying? All right, outcome in the direction. We got the Temperance again. There's Sagittarius energy here. Take what fits. This is all about the balance, right? This is all about divine timing. We know this is kind of the generic version of this card, but this is definitely that relationship, okay, that unfolds in the natural way. The past person returns healed. That new person that we're talking about, it's got that emotional maturity. For some, it's that money stabilizing. It's the financial blessings. Everything about this is all alchemy. It's all transmuting and pouring from one cup to the other. It's sharing. You know what I mean? What I mean. So there could be that same mirrored energy that you are desiring coming towards you. Okay, very grounded. This is the year your love life aligns. All right. It's not explosive. And I feel like there's just so much balance in it. It's got timing, it's got focus. And I feel like this is like, yeah, this is trying to say to you, pay attention to how you felt at the first of the year, right? Your emotional patterns, pay attention to, who was giving, and who was taking, the receiving. This is about the reminder, this is that yearly reminder that says, hey, wake up, Scorpio. This is the time where, you know, uh, somebody feels you, somebody's drawn to you, okay? And I feel like one of them is about to become real for you, okay? So this is your soften up time. This is your intuition time. This is about the timing of the relationship alignment. Things are written in the stars here, okay? It's not chaos, it's all about calibration here, okay? And Temperance closes this reading with a promise of a connection that grows, like at the right pace here. So, and I feel like it's with the right person. You know what I mean? So uh, what else can I say? I feel like maybe that's about it. The cards have spoken. It's a really mature, beautiful reading. So, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, would you? Last week's reading I'll leave right here, but I don't feel like they were the same energies. You can check it out if you'd like. But or any of the other readings, you might be able to go back and find the energies just to see if you're on that same timeline. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right, Scorpio, I love you. I appreciate you, and I hope I get to see you on the next readings. Okay. All right. Bye bye.